Hello, everyone. This is Rome with Houston Professional Photography. I want to take a few minutes to talk about a subject that has come up repeatedly in emails and in conversations concerning makeup and how makeup is applied. When it refers to photography. As a professional photographer, I do a number of different types of photography, everything from commercial print to modeling. I work with a number of local celebrities. We do headshots. We do everything that you can think of. Obviously in the modeling and photography industry. One of our key selling points in many cases is going to be weddings and things like that. So having a professional makeup artist that truly understands what it is that you're looking for as a photographer. And what I mean by that is how the makeup needs to be applied, the foundation, which is the most important part of the makeup. The eyes, mouth, eyebrows, hair, yes, those are important as well. But from the perspective of lighting, lenses, things like that, in reality, the foundation is what's going to help ensure that you have that flawless, consistent color to the skin, texture to the skin, so on and so on. And I mean, we shoot from anything from HD3, 250s, at 50 megapixels and above, with a 120 macro, all the way to the D300S, D700s, so you're looking at 24 megapixels to 12 megapixels, and the megapixels is not as important and not that big of a deal when you think about it on that perspective, but yet the detail that you capture in these images, um, especially the way I shoot tethered. So when I'm shooting with a client, for the most part, they are looking at a 30-inch monitor, 27-inch monitor behind me, next to me, whatever it is, and they see exactly what I'm capturing as I capture it. So if you're working with an agency, or you're shooting editorial for a magazine, or you're shooting fashion for a magazine, all of the little details that may have been overlooked, they're able to see it in such high definition and detail by just zooming in on the image. Yes, a lot of it can be corrected right there on the spot, but they also notice many cases the lack of detail work done in the makeup. And I've had comments made to me after shoots, and in the past we've not used makeup artists again because of the fact that once we had sat down with them and explained to them what we were doing and what the client expected, their rate is based on them, as an example. So the makeup artist can come to us and say, my rate is $175 an hour. I have a minimum 4 hours. No problem. The client is going to pay that. And they expect at that point that the makeup artist is going to apply the makeup in a professional manner according to whatever their needs are for the type of fashion or whatever it is they're shooting. A lot of these clients, they basically are photographers in a sense. They're graphics people. They know graphics. They know lighting. They know makeup. They do this every day. These are not startup companies. So when something is not done right, they see it instantly. And as a photographer, your team has a big effect on your reputation. So I want to put that out there forward. Just as much as you have an effect on their reputation. So when you bring in a makeup artist, or you bring in a stylist, or you bring in an assistant, whatever it may be, if those people cannot get the job done to the level that the client expects, it all falls back on you if you're the one who booked the client. Now, looking at an image like this, and guys, I just want to put this out there. This is not an image nor a makeup artist that I've ever had a problem with. I'm just using this image because it's easy for me to access it. But even here, you can see some issues that needed to be corrected. If you look closely in, the skin, you can see, some moles. You can see some skin discolorations. You see things where that could have been addressed in the makeup, but it wasn't, But even with that, we know how simple it is to correct a lot of this, whether you're sending it out to another house to be edited, or you're going to be editing the work yourself, or a graphics person's going to be doing it, post work, whatever the case may be. As long as you can get, for the most part, a very high, high definition, high resolution image, the rest can be done in post. But The disadvantage to us is every one of our clients doesn't understand the post work. They only see what comes across the monitor or what we show them after the shoot. And because of the way like I shoot, for instance, saying tethered, and the client's able to review their images right there in the studio, even before we upload them to the proofing site, they see exactly what you see on that monitor before any editing's done. So, I mean, many times, I say, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. Here's, the image raw right off the camera. I love the action. I love the movement of the hair for in this instance. And, you just jump right over to Photoshop and you show them quickly, how easy it will be to even further soften the skin, little things like that. But the key component that comes into play here is when they see what you're doing, say in Photoshop or in one of these other applications, whatever you may be using. I use portraiture as to increase my workflow when it comes to adjusting skin tone and things like that. I don't know how well this is going to translate in video and how much detail you can see here in this image, but I'll try to get as close as I can. And one simple plugin, I'm using portraiture. I'm going to set this at the smoothing is medium for skin, and it should work with the skin tone and the hue of the model here. So you'll see exactly what it looks like after you run one of these plugins if you're not familiar with it. I'm assuming that someone watching this video has not seen these plugins before, but they're relatively easy to find. They're not very expensive. And trust me, it will increase your workflow dramatically. So to get to that glamorous look at the difference in the skin tone with just one click, going from this to this. Now, if you wanted to do some post work, obviously before applying this plugin, you could go in and clone out, any other imperfections that you see. You can touch up the neckline, in Liquify or however whatever tools you use. It doesn't matter. The point of this video is about the makeup and the application of the makeup. So realistically, what I would look for and expect my makeup from the makeup artist to look like what you see here, not what you see here. Now, is that realistic? Who knows? I can't say that it's always realistic, that it's that easy to do this. But as a professional photographer, videographer, graphics person, whatever it may be, it's the client that the end result matters the most to. So if the person that you're working with or the part of your team cannot achieve what it is that they expect from you, that falls back on you. That's going to affect your reputation. That's going to affect your cash flow, your workflow, whatever it may be. So when you take all of that into consideration, you say, well, how hard is it to find, a qualified stylist or a qualified makeup artist? I know photographers that tell me they've been looking for years and have never found that person that the chemistry is just right with. But even with that, I mean, we have alternate, solutions that we can work into it. But the question always comes up is, if we're able to achieve this on the computer from the raw files that we're starting out with, why do you really need a makeup artist? Why do you need a stylist? Well, because it's a part of the pecking order. It's a part of the professional atmosphere that most clients would want to experience. So it's more than just putting your client in front of a camera and a light and all the other cool stuff if you were shooting in your living room or your garage or something. Most of us and most of you are running a professional studio. So all of those elements should be in play. You should have a makeup artist, even if it's someone that's on call. You should have a stylist that's willing to come in and work with the clients, for a fee. So whatever services you provide or that are offered from your studio just makes your studio that more professional. But anyway, so hopefully this will help makeup artists who are looking to work with photographers that are looking to work with makeup artists or that need makeup artists, and we all do. Sure that you're teaming up with people who see your vision, that your brand is just as important to them as their brand is to them. And I know that that's asking a lot, but if the person that's working with you understands how important your business is to you and how much they benefit because of the way you feel about your business, they will benefit as you benefit.